Hello, Connecticut national media. You guys are recorded through all involved with all kinds of racketeering with local media, recording attack like using. You know how little kids tell truth? They're naive, and the opposite is exploited too simultaneously because they're forcing them. They're taking those truths the kids tell, and they're using them for weaponized, attaching lies to them, using them to lie, and more complicated natures of crimes with people on and off the campuses. Connecticut media confessed and recorded a whole bunch of people associated with Institute of Living and with doctorates in psychology are involved racketeering with child offenders, sexual, medical, interbranch judges involved with them, state's attorney's office, forging names, switching names because of racketeering that came through shared agreements with private that you can't that kept nations grouped criminally. Sides that don't even like each other, like Russians and Americans, in collusion with our judges with racketeering, interbranch racketeering, uses of election spots, uses of each fact cheaping nature value, uses of time, always too fast, too slow, to prevent free speech, offensively preventing mandated law, and way worse. And this is also misprisioning criminality with people pretending to study, so all victim predators. These are, so in other words, they're also forging names and switching names. There are proofs. I don't know the extent of it, but the name of the snow vehicle, snow monster. There are proofs that WFSB is involved with further racketeering roles with child sex offenders and medical offenders, and drug clicks interbranch with racketeering with evidences. Real sick with cases already through time, with all time treatments, all kinds of sequence shifts and database crimes with other branches of government, recorded and confessed and demonstrated. They also speak through others criminally, and they also make confessions and demonstrations of lying about direct speech with us, of faking things recorded into the branches, criminally individually branches, criminally grouped, and criminally together. Now, since I was a kid, they wouldn't put anything in writing. A whole bunch of people right through the Obama administration, other administrations involved racketeering various natures of courts, especially probate courts, because this is simultaneously sickly, distinctly, and non-distinctly on each age of fact, cheaping nature, sickly distinctly to keep how effectively having kept how sickly non-distinctly from being discerned and or allowed free speech. Now they're also originally instilled didn't let people read and made everyone else keep reading divided and sick summary convictions with each of the sciences, for example, that are used for life progressions that are already having used and use from off the ground of education on and off each identity of the ground location, even homes, and especially regarding homes in relationship to zoning laws and all kind and these life progressions, these physical delusions recorded inter sciences originally instilled where we needed experts on logic, but never had them but involved with racketeering originally and still. This is Americans' course right here. We have predicate acts. We have a whole bunch of people with a Leahy family tied to thousands of people directly and indirectly all through a house in my area, involved with the extortion of me and other and abuses of other kids, attaching you. They're trying. They find truths and they attach. These are organized crime methods, also crime acts and methods recorded associated right back to the actually recorded nature of prosecutors, uses of their own kids with the schools, with the Weathersfield police chief, uses of his daughter, uses of her his extended her foreign extended family, recorded and confessed with a whole bunch of people racketeering all the way from across Glastonbury, across that bridge, the house of the side, a whole bunch of people with Oliveri tied to racketeering with drugs and with the house slash S in my area associated with them in the past with database racketeering tied to that, and sequence shifts in their roles of racketeering roles with um co-defend the family members of co and the people of federal criminal co-defendants of Robert Luskin, former director of the FBI, and his lawyer, Robert Cheverry, and their uses of that location and of mail racketeering, mail crimes, mail crime methods, wire crime methods, whole bunch of people tied to them. With this Leahy family, too. Attach me to fake conversations about CIA. Have everyone pretend those things around. Uses of Facebook for racketeering with child sex offenders. Also, other natures of racketeering with the families of them, further recorded and confessed involved with the media involved roles with it. They have WFSB pretending to be against what they also pretending to record fake things with a girl crying. In other words, they're hiding their live progressions with little kids. There's a Joshua Julie and a whole bunch of sick men and women tied to him with overt racketeering, verbal federal crimes, crime rolls with Facebook, identity thefts, identity racketeering, sequence shift rolls with female judges, crimes with a principal sex offender, other people involved with that principal sex offender's campus when they were forcing that, also sexual crime acts with that and threats tied to Facebook. They didn't let that hold on. They attached me to fake words, didn't let me speak. They made confessions leading up to and before that, wouldn't let it told on. These are people that uses of New Britain Superior Court's Facebook page for sexual crimes of all natures of crimes, with each age of fact should be nature, with evidences through time, faking recorded things into databases with police forms from all different natures of cities and police forms involved, including private and on and off the campuses, and including criminal uses of the switching the campus of the CCSU police department off campus, like with that highway right before the highway, because now there are a whole bunch of state police and their family members recorded and confessed and demonstrated involved with the racketeering here, and with the phrase "perfect world," and with the phrase worldview, and tied with as Facebook and other online police and roles with online platforms used for forced sexual aggressions and fake care on people, and while they're simultaneously doing sick things with truth tellers. Sir, see to your stick. Vaccines. I tell you things. Also, criminal uses of the identity of the ground, all tied to back confessions and pattern. In other words, who denies this? Have them pick one name in sequence. They're preventing mandated law originally and still. No science spoke. What science? Who says there's science? Damn. I'll clap.